Rookies are a real gamble in the NFL.
The history of the league, 100-plus years, there's a reason that the smaller quarterback struggles in the National Football League.
We are past the halfway point of what has been a chaotic, unpredictable, and all-around dramatic 2023 NFL regular season. With that, let's dive into 5 2023 rookies who already look like superstars and 5 that look like busts. Star, CJ Stroud. You know you have a special rookie year when you are near or at the very top of the NFL MVP conversation. But hey, welcome to the big boy league, CJ Stroud. Stroud broke Dak Prescott's record for most pass attempts without an interception to begin a career. And incredibly, Stroud attempted 192 passes before finally throwing a pick in a Week 6 home win over the New Orleans Saints. And in Houston's thrilling comeback win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 9, Stroud threw for 470 yards. A single-game rookie QB record. Stroud is playing on the level of Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. He is quite literally already a top 5 quarterback in the game. The Texans didn't have to do anything but just take whoever remains between Stroud and Bryce Young with the number 2 pick. Let's just say that the Texans should send a giant gift basket to Carolina for taking Young over Stroud, who already looks like the most talented signal caller in franchise history. Bust Bryce Young. At the time, it felt like the Panthers were making the safe pick when they took Bryce Young first overall. Despite concerns about his size, Young was viewed as the more polished and NFL-ready prospect over Stroud. Yeah, obviously that has not been the case.
Bryce Young gets a shove from Sanders. He was lined up over the guard. I just wonder if Young is underestimating his speed.
Young has looked everything like, well, an NFL rookie QB. He's not reading through his progressions, the Alabama product is too often careless with the football, and just doesn't know when to cut his losses, as evidenced by the fact that he's taken an average of roughly 3.5 sacks per game. Through his first 8 contests, Young didn't have a single 300-yard outing. And for those who want to complain about the lackluster supporting cast, well, you know, we get it, but Andy Dalton had a 361-yard outing against Seattle in place of an injured Young back in Week 3. So, just saying. Young wasn't necessarily expected to be a rock star in year 1, but he was supposed to provide a glimmer of long-term hope for a fed-up Carolina fan base. Yet, so far, he looks no better than any of the other QBs the Panthers have used since 2018. Rough. Star Jaylen Carter. Carter was previously the frontrunner to go first overall, but his stock took a drop due to his involvement in a tragic fatal car accident that took the lives of teammates Devin Witherspoon and Georgia staffer Chandler LaCroix. Carter fell out of the top 5 and wound up going 9th overall to the Philadelphia Eagles, who traded up 1 spot via the Chicago Bears to snag the hulking defensive tackle. Carter has only played about half the Eagles' defensive snaps, and he already looks every bit like a superstar. 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 5 tackles for a loss through Philly's first 8 games? That's what I'm talking about. Pro Football Focus also had Carter at an insane 90.6 grade when the Eagles went into their Week 10 bye. He's merely a rotational player as a rookie, and he's still playing at an all-pro level. Just think about that. Bust Paris Johnson Jr. The Arizona Cardinals had a chance to take a true franchise cornerstone in Will Anderson Jr. with the number 3 pick, but they surrendered that selection to Houston. And since the Texans won't be giving away a top 10 pick like we all expected at the start of the year, this trade already feels like a lopsided defeat for the Cardinals. Ooh, too bad. As a part of the deal, Arizona got Houston's number 12 overall selection. They then flipped that to the Detroit Lions to move up and select Ohio State defensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr. at number 6 overall. And, yeah, so far, not so good. Per Pro Football Focus, Johnson Jr. played in 649 offensive snaps through his first 10 games. He had a woeful 52.5 grade, allowing 3 sacks and committing a whopping 9 penalties. It just felt like Arizona was better off staying at number 3 and taking a sure thing in Anderson Jr. Yes, Johnson Jr. himself has a lot of time to grow into a star, but, well, the early results are really underwhelming. Johnson Jr. has been a bust in his rookie year. There is no sugarcoating it. Star Devin Witherspoon. Thanks to the Russell Wilson trade that wound up being a massive win for the Seahawks, they landed the number 5 overall selection of 2023 from the Denver Broncos. That allowed Seattle, a playoff team in 2022 by the way, to get even richer by taking Illinois corner Devin Witherspoon with the number 5 pick. Witherspoon was the consensus top defensive back prospect in this class, and so far, he's lived up to the hype in every aspect. One of the league leaders in pass defenses, this ball hawking specialist has mostly made his mark as a pure shutdown corner. Witherspoon's advanced statistics have been off the charts, as noted by the good folks of Pro Football Focus. Witherspoon has also excelled in the run defense department as well. He is a cornerback by trade, but Seattle has been able to use the versatile star all over the field, and he absolutely dominates wherever he lines up. And to think, this is only his rookie year, too. Brace yourselves, NFL. The Legion of Boom 2.0 in Seattle is a-coming. Bust Emanuel Forbes. Someone please make it make sense. The Commanders had the number 7 scoring defense a year ago, drafted a promising corner in Emanuel Forbes at number 16 overall, and now somehow fields a defense that can't stop a nosebleed. Forbes isn't to be blamed for the baffling shortcomings on Washington's defense, but he wasn't supposed to be this much of a liability either. But alas, the Commanders have a problem in the secondary that Forbes is contributing to. Washington has used Forbes in a rotational role, as he has seen less than half the defensive snaps in games he's suited up for. Good, because through his first 9 games, Forbes allowed 409 yards in coverage and yielded an opposing passer rating of 99.6 when targeted, per Pro Football Reference. Forbes' struggles prompted Ron Rivera to bench him in the club's games against Chicago and Atlanta. And to think the Commanders took him over Christian Gonzalez, who showed signs of growing into a bona fide superstar for the Patriots before his season-ending injury. Yeah, it's gonna be a long road ahead for Forbes, alright. Star Puka Nkua. Nkua is the proud owner of the unofficial title for the biggest deal in the 2023 NFL Draft so far. The Los Angeles Rams selected the BYU product in the 5th round at number 177 overall. Little did the football world know at the time that Nkua, not Cooper Kupp, would be the Rams' offensive MVP this year. Nkua had a dazzling debut for the Rams in their season-opening win against the Seahawks, racking up 10 catches for 119 yards. He stepped up big time with Kupp sidelined for the first 4 games with a hamstring injury. And even when Kupp returned to the field in Week 5, Nkua's production didn't decline one bit. He's averaging approximately 20 yards per game more than the Super Bowl 56 MVP. Even with quarterback Matt Stafford enduring another frustrating and injury-riddled year, Nkua has a realistic shot at finishing in the top 5 in both receptions and receiving yards. An incredible story for the BYU product that entered the NFL with practically 0 expectations. Seriously, who knows how many productive years Kupp has left, but even if he's near the very end of his prime, Nkua's emergence has made everything that much more manageable for this retooling organization. Bust Quinton Johnston. Many viewed Johnston as a top 2 receiver in this class alongside Ohio State's Jackson Smith-Njigba. Those were the days, huh? While Smith-Njigba can be excused for a meh rookie year because of the fact he plays with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in Seattle, Johnston has literally no excuses for his underwhelming rookie season. The Los Angeles Chargers lost top wideout Mike Williams for the season in Week 3 when he tore his ACL. That immediately opened the door for Johnston to step up as the Chargers' new WR2 behind Keenan Allen. Or so we all thought. While Allen has regained his status as a WR1, Johnston has been practically invisible on the field. And the lack of a true number 2 receiver for Justin Herbert has largely contributed to the Chargers being a disappointment thus far. Through the Bolts' first 9 games, Johnston only had 18 catches for 162 yards and a touchdown. Johnston's first TD didn't come until Week 10 against the Detroit Lions, a game the Chargers lost anyway. If you go through Johnston's game log, you would think that he was essentially a team's second stringer or their practice squad. But no, that's the number 21 pick who's gotten next to nothing going in his rookie year. Star Will Anderson Jr. As previously noted, the Texans traded up via the Cardinals to select Alabama edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. with the number 3 pick. While CJ Stroud is understandably getting most of the love and attention in H-Town, Anderson Jr.'s arrival has also been instrumental in Houston's unexpected success this year. Without Anderson Jr., the Texans D wouldn't have experienced such a rapid turnaround under rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans. His stats as a rookie aren't eye-popping, but Anderson's low sack totals and lack of turnovers shouldn't deceive you. For example, what if we told you that through Week 10, Anderson had the 3rd best edge pass rush win rate at ESPN, behind only Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. Anderson Jr. is getting after the quarterback at an alarming rate. Other than Stroud, there is a case to be made that Anderson Jr. is the best overall rookie of 2023. Bust Tyree Wilson. Defense has been a giant weakness for the Las Vegas Raiders for a while now. So it made perfect sense to use the number 7 pick on Texas Tech defensive end Tyree Wilson. Vegas has one of the league's best edge rushers in Max Crosby, but the 2022 free agent signing of Chandler Jones turned out to be a big flop. The Raiders had hoped that pairing Wilson with Crosby would give them a prolific pass-rushing duo to deal with the gauntlet of elite signal colors in the AFC. But while Crosby has turned in another excellent season, and while the Raiders D has displayed vast improvement under Patrick Graham, Wilson has hardly been noticeable this year.
Yes. Hey!
Wilson is playing less than half of the Raiders' defensive snaps this year, and for pretty dang good reason. PFF graded him at a miserable 40.3 through the Raiders' first 10 games. That just isn't going to cut it for any player, let alone a top 10 pick who's supposed to be a franchise cornerstone. But which other 2023 NFL rookies already look like stars, and which ones already look like busts? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.